Yeah, I'll take it away from here. So yes, we're talking Casey Wizards Zardmeister. So I apologize ahead of time, Wizards fans. This was a little bit tough to research, hard to find a lot of stuff on it. So if I missed anything, I apologize. Definitely let us know because I would like to learn more about this story if there is more information. But as always, my source for this one, an article from the New York Times called "Serious Investment and Savvy Marketing Revives Soccer in Kansas City" by Sam Borden, and an article from The Athletic called "A Sporting Chance: How the Kansas City Wiz Evolved into a Model Team for MLS" by Jason Jenks. The 2002 KC Wizards had a rough year, certainly compared to the double winning season they had just 2 years prior. They finished the season bottom of the Western Conference on 36 points. However, somehow made the playoffs behind a seriously weak Eastern Conference. In fairness to the Wiz, despite the rough regular season, they put up a fight, at least for the first game, against the eventual champions and Supporter Shield champions LA Galaxy. Attendance numbers for the year were bad. An average of 12,255 put them second bottom of the attendance charts, only behind San Jose. The average attendance across the whole league was 15,822, so they were sorely behind the ball. 2003 had to be different for the club. And what better way to get more fan engagement than through a Zardmeister? However, things would not exactly go as expected. Now you might be asking, what is a Zardmeister? I know I was before researching this story. So Jason Jenks defines a Zardmeister, specifically the Wizards one, as a fan or mascot or hype man who dressed in a wig and wore a microphone. Essentially, someone to lead the fans and try and get them hyped up before, during, and after the game. The Zardmeister was, safe to say, a tad bit disappointing, breaking out chants that make fight and win look like the Braveheart speech. One in particular seems to be mentioned fairly often, and that was the "Me Likey Miola" chant. Tony Miola, as we know, the second greatest MLS MVP in history, was the Wiz star keeper at the time, hence the source of the chant. Another fan favorite was the chant, "I'm a Zard, you're a Zard, we all are Zards." Season ticket holder Mike Gahan was even quoted as saying he heard him actually misspell Zard once. Fans like Mike were not pleased, but staff as well. Rob Thompson, SKC Chief Communications Officer, was quoted as saying, "You think you're going to get cool people to embrace your team when you have the Zardmeister trying to get the whole crowd singing 'Me Likey Miola'?" Some more fan reactions included a message on a Wiz message board, which read, "I brought a bunch of people with me that had never been to a game before, and rarely have I ever been more embarrassed." Another wrote, "As soon as I heard him on the mic for the first time, I was in shock that the front office would think of something that stupid." Fan and community reaction prompted the inevitable, and I couldn't find a source for this one. We could talk with Andrew after this is over, but the Zardmeister didn't even make it the whole season, was fired before that point. But the question has to be asked, did it work in getting more fans to the stadium? Well, MLS attendance numbers in 2003 looked like this. A league-wide average attendance of 14,898, actually a decrease in the average attendance from the prior season. Okay, well, how did the Wizards do during the regular season? They finished second in the Western Conference behind eventual champions San Jose, finishing on 42 points. A bit better than last season, but only by 6 points. Maybe that moves the needle slightly, but certainly that can't jump attendance up that much. The Wiz finished the season with an average attendance of 15,573, meaning their attendance increased over 3,000 per game. Rather than finishing second to last in attendance, they finished fifth overall. How much of that can you attribute to the Zardmeister? Probably not much, if any at all. But maybe the Wiz executives happened to know something that the rest of us did not.
Gonna say they did. Otherwise, we'd have them all over the league.
That's true. Everybody would have one.
I gotta say, we complain a lot about people like trying to Europeanize things and being like, "Oh, that's so cringe." This one, they got a point on this one. This one you can't argue with too much. Um, By the way, what I will say, fight and win, actually a really good chant. Like I heard it this weekend on the Portland Seattle game. When done properly, really cool. But the fact that it is now like immortalized in one meme,
Yeah, just for that Seattle clip alone.
not
It's
not
always a
ideal.
meme now.
The last note I have, Zardmeister. That sounds like when you're like 12 years old, you make like your first email. That sounds like Giassi Zardes' first email. Like that's
That's
what
such a
Giassi
good one.
Zardes would pick for his first email.
That's so good.
Zardmeister011@gmail.com.
I have to wonder if that was ever a nickname for him at any of the places he's been. If it's not, it should be now going forward.
I think that's the only way I'm going to refer to him from now on. Is
The Zardmeister.
bro, did you just see how the Zardmeister scored that goal for Austin? What a G!